Hi everybody, this is Meg at Chasing Retro. It's been a little while since I posted a video. This week has been a lot of appointments and running around and trying to get the last few things done before the kids head back into classes. So it's just been, I haven't really had a lot of time to sit and make a video. I have been shopping here and there, buying things for journals. We ended up having to go to our capital city this week for an appointment, so I got to go in a couple of thrift and antique stores that I never get to go in. We used to live there when we were first married, so I was pretty familiar with them. A couple of them have been around for like 50 years, but I got to go in those. And I've been sort of just setting everything over to the side to show you guys before I put it away. I hope you all have had a wonderful week so far. All right, let's show you what I found okay, so it was called a thrift store, but it really wasn't. It was more of a consignment store with booths. I wouldn't call it an antique store because the prices were better than that. But it was definitely not just a regular thrift store. There were booths. But at one of the booths, this seller had some vintage stationery, and most of it was 80s and 90s and not what I was interested in. But I did find these, I guess these are 80s, vintage Avon note cards, unopened. Initially Yours, I think I remember them selling these. So they came with... they're so faded, rub-on transfers of letters, so you could put your initials on them, and then I don't know where you'd put the initials. I guess right here between the trees. Maybe you could put husband and wife initials. But I just love the colors. There's only 4 in here, but that's okay. It was $1 for 4, and the envelopes are cute. I love how it wraps around to the back on both. And it says Avon, so that was really cool. Never found any Avon stationery before. This, oh goodness, I hate opening things like this. Actually, it's already ripped. Good, I don't feel so bad. These are the Rust Craft. I love this brand. It's like a coffee party invite, which people need to start having coffee parties again. You know what I'm saying? Coffee and dessert. I feel like everybody's gotten away from having people over at their houses. We still do it as much as we can. We love having friends over for dinner or dessert. But I feel like it used to be so much more commonplace. And what is this? Oh, this is just the card on the back showing you what the inside looked like, which is totally usable for ephemera too. Really cute. Can you imagine getting a note that small in the mailbox? That would just be like, oh, what is this? I found this at an actual antique store, and it was not a bad price. I'm gonna try to take the sticker off as best I can and put this in the 80s journal that I'm keeping for myself. This is a reprint, or I guess a reprint from 2004, but we all know that Benji was originally late 70s through early 80s. Big memories for Benji. Not only did my childhood dog and the dog that my husband and I got for our kids look like Benji, he was a Wheaten Terrier. I grew up watching Benji in the free summer movies. I feel like they showed all of the Benjis. The Benji the Hunted, For the Love of Benji. This is just the original one, so I was excited to find that. My husband actually posted a short of me looking through a shelf of little Goldens that I found at that store, and most of them were really good prices, $2.50 or so, but there were a few that were lower than that, and this was one of them because I guess someone maybe it got wet and then the back peeled off, but that's okay because I have some spare little golden backs. But I've decided to make Christmas journals this year, and I'm pretty sure I used this one last time I made them, so I didn't have this cover anymore. And it's just beautifully aged. Just the perfect amount of aging. I have been hoping to find this one for like 2 or 3 years and have never found it in the wild, so I found this one. Very excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to get to a back to school journal this year. We'll have to see if I can fit it in between Heidi and starting on the Christmas ones. Fawn Baby, I had never heard of this, but I love the illustrations. I find it odd that it's not centered, so this will be a little bit challenging, but I think I can avoid that with the spine. It's a Whitman's Big Tell-a-Tale. And it's been cut and ripped. I'm not sure what happened to this one, but I honestly for $125 I got it for the cover, but some of the images in here are really pretty. The angular art that was popular in this era. Kind of Bob Ross looking trees. I just loved it. And then someone had gifted this to me in Happy Meal a while back, and I'm going to use it for my vintage retail journals, so I decided to pick up another one. And it's, I think, 80s. We went to a used bookstore, and they had tons of stuff, but their prices were not good at all. But he had a cart of books that were $1, that were library discards, and I found this one. At some point, I would love to make a book that is colors themed, like not just one color, but all the colors. And so I got this because it had a lot of fun, cute images, but also the cover is just amazing. And it has a cat. All right, this was my favorite find of the day when we were in our capital city. I could not get this in my hands fast enough. It is a cookie tin. This is Leon Jason. It's like 1976. But the tag that was on it said, it had the manufacturer's name on it, and I can't remember what it was. It was like Bloomberg or Blumenthal or something like that. I'm gonna have to do a Google image search to figure out what it said, but it has a domed top, kind of circus tent like, and I've never seen anything like this before. I got this to either put on my kitchen counter to put stuff in, because it's just so adorable, or I will use it for ephemera storage and have another decorative storage piece in my craft space. But I couldn't. It reminds me of the ginghams meets Holly Hobby, kind of. It's that feel of the cute little calico country look of the 70s. All right, what else did I get? Also at this thrift store that was really a consignment store, I found a bag of ribbon for $5, but it was 20% off in that booth, so whatever that is. And most of them have been used a little bit, but some have not been opened. When I buy big grab bags like this, obviously we're not going to usually love everyone in the bag, so I usually sort them as I go and take to my craft reuse store the next time I volunteer the ones that I don't want. This is American Crafts brand. That's cool. I love that. I may have to use this in the 80s journals because it's kind of neon looking. Put that over there for those. And then of course this picot edged ribbon is a favorite. This is looks like a light blue sheer. Is it? This is Joanne. Willow is the color, so I can't tell if it's blue or green. I don't use a lot of sheer ribbon, so I'll probably donate this one. Sweet Petites by Morex. Retro floral. It's a satin ribbon with the blue floral print. It's kind of cute. This, I don't need any more bias tape, so I'll be donating that. Oh, navy blanket binding. I didn't know this was in there. That's cool. Oh, it looks like she tried to sell them individually for a while. Awesome. I don't have any navy. Here's the picot again. I think this is black. It doesn't say. No, it doesn't say. I think it's black. Christmas ribbon, always a good find if you're planning on Christmas journals. Here's another Sweet Petites. I've never heard of this brand, and it's adorable. I love that. Stitched look. I got 2 of those. This is for the 80s journals. It's an ombre rainbow, like a pastel. Narrow lavender. This says earth friendly, made from natural materials. And it's kind of macrame looking. I thought it was interesting and cool. We have these adorable American crafts. The tulips are so cute. I got double of those. I've had this before and I loved it and I used it all up, so I'm excited to get more of it. I think this is old Hobby Lobby. I could be wrong though. More of this retro flower. I think I'll donate one of these because I'm not going to use both. I'll donate this one. And a sage green Grosgain. Moss is the color. Elastic, I don't need this. I'll donate this also. And some more bias tape. Look at this cute little guy. Paper Studio. Zebra stripe. That's kind of interesting. And a larger zebra stripe. I'll donate this. I don't think I'll ever use zebra stripe unless I do like a Lion King or Safari journal, which I don't see myself doing. Here's some more of that ombre. And the last 2, another one of the neon stripe and then blue with brown. That is cute. All right, that was the ribbon bag. I got this little packet of Christmas colored sequins for 25 cents, minus 20% off. And I have been looking for this version of the Color Kittens for a while. And unfortunately, it has a sticker covering over a name written in Sharpie. So I don't know if I can get rid of this. I don't know. I'll have to use a magic eraser. However, if I can't, I can always wrap some fun ribbon, not ribbon, like a little square of fabric around it and create, you know, make it look intentional by putting some on this side. But I have been, for my multicolor journals, I've been wanting another copy of this because I only had one. And when I only have one copy of a book that is sentimental to me, I have trouble tearing it up. So I'm just glad to find it. And then I got this Bambi. And it's, it doesn't look that old. It's in great shape, but it's old because it's 59 cents. It's just immaculate. So I couldn't pass that up. Okay, this week while volunteering at my reuse store, I did get a few things. I was proud of myself. I only spent $15 this week. I got a yard of this. So I thought it was the scattered tulips that we all know and love from the 80s, but my daughter and I were looking at it. It's actually rolled wrong side out, but we think it might be strawberries. I'll let you be the judge with me. Let's look at it better together. It was hard to do that in the store. Maybe it's both. I think it might be tulips and strawberries. But it's so cute. I just love using this as a backdrop for cards and tags as well as a journal backdrop, because then you could do something really colorful for the topper. Look at this. I found this beautiful piece of quilted ditzy floral with like a red-orange background. I could not get over the luck of finding this. I have several more pieces of this ready, like already quilted material in my stash, and I've just been kind of this coat, some of them are double-sided. This one is not. This one is just like, this is the back, so I'd have to back it with another fabric. But I've been wanting to make like a small series of eclectic journals that have this as the cover, like a squishy soft cover. So I was excited to find that one because I didn't have anything that color. I bought this. So cute. It's so 80s, 90s looking to me. I will probably, this is 1 yard, so I'll probably keep half a yard and share half a yard in my shop. But I've never seen fabric with the teddy bears. I've seen lots of other things in the middle of this kind of fabric, like watermelons and American flags, but I'd never seen a teddy bear. I thought that was so adorable. There's something about teddy bears. I just love them. It's more than a half a yard, but when this happens, when it looks like chunky, but it only says a half a yard, that means whoever donated at least a half a yard plus some scraggly, dangly pieces hanging off of it. And we just we don't cut those off. We wrap them up within the fabric and let the purchaser just have a little bit of extra fabric. We always round down, not up, obviously, for yardage. And so sometimes you end up with a little extra. So I think this is what's going on here. But it's a vintage Cranston with the holly for Christmas journals. I'm going to frame this, y'all. It's a finished cross stitch. Maybe it's missing the border. I don't know. But it's the cross stitch that I can't do because it's too small. The count is too small, too high, I guess. But it's the mauve and the blue, and I love it, and I want to frame it so bad and put it in my house somewhere. We have finished and partly finished cross stitches and embroidery and crewel that come through, and even hooked rugs. And we usually price them really low just because we want someone to take it home with them. This was a fun find. It was in the children's game section, and evidently it's been there a while. I must have just uncovered it. They look like retail numbers to me, but someone has stuck magnets on the back. So I thought these would be really fun to tie onto my vintage retail journals, because they just remind me of the numbers that you would see, on a really old sign that the price changes often. They do need a good bath, but I love them. I was excited about those. I don't know who donated these, but there were so many really cool antique buttons there this time. And I limited myself to 2. Our button cards are 50 cents. I keep saying ours if I work there. I'm just a volunteer. The button cards there are 50 cents, and but these were both glass. And it's interesting. Somebody put their name on the back of all of them with the year. Maybe this is when she bought them. Maybe she lived in a dormitory or a boarding house, and she wanted to make sure her things were, not taken out of her room. I don't know. It was just interesting that she wrote her name on the back. But are these not beautiful? I know this looks more Dutch than Swedish, but I thought maybe I could use these in the Heidi journals. They had another version that was brown background with yellow flowers, and the little girl had blonde braids, but I got this one because I really like the yellow background. My daughter picked these up just for fun. We were just talking, that was her bracelet too. We were just talking about how we miss Play-Doh and just like smelling Play-Doh and playing with it. And the Play-Doh at this store is 25 cents. And it has glitter in it, y'all. Did y'all know that Play-Doh had glitter? I didn't. And I found this little guy. The elementary school where I went was called Sedgefield Elementary, and we were the Sedgefield Tigers, and he looks just like the Sedgefield Sedgefield Tiger. So this will go in my personal journal. And the find of the day from the reuse store is right here. I've never, ever found a vintage paper tablecloth in the wrapper. I almost fell on the floor when I saw this. And it has the Kmart sticker on it. Glorious. It's going to be a while before I open this. I'm just going to enjoy it as it is. Of course, when I do open packages like this, I save these. I glue these down onto cardstock and sew around them. I don't waste any of it, including that. It can't be that old because of this, but I don't know. I was so excited to find that. All right, on the other side of me are a few things that I picked up this morning. We dropped off a couple of desk chairs at our local thrift store. This is not my favorite thrift store, but it's my second favorite thrift store in our area. And I went in, I shouldn't have, but I went in after we dropped them off, and lo and behold, they had a few interesting things. Small flashcards. I don't ever find them this size, double-sided. Subtraction. A bag of brads. It looked like a scrapbooker had recently donated a bunch of stuff. So, because I got some paper too, I'll show you that in a minute. But I bought this whole bag just for these. Oh, I thought these were brads. These are push pins. Well, they're still cool. Star push pins. I'm going to see if maybe I can use jewelry pliers to bend this around and create a loop. I'll have to see if I can do that. So I have a whole bag of star push pins. I hope I wasn't out of frame just there. Let me show y'all that again. Sorry, I have my camera a little bit further back this time because of the way my desk is full of stuff. And then there were several bags of little boxes of brads. 2 purples. Okay. Found this for the 80s journals. Very excited. I wonder if these came out in the 90s. That's So 80s trivia game. So, like I said, I don't know how old this is, but I thought this was really cool to put in the 80s journals. And then here are the cards for it. Isn't that fun? The colors are just amazing. So you've got the question and answer together, and you can kind of quiz yourself if you buy one of these. And then, yeah, there's some gray ones too. Really fun. This might be just fun to sit at the kitchen table and quiz each other too. Well, my kids wouldn't know the answers, but my hubby and I will. Look at this. I couldn't believe this. This whole bag was $3.95, and I think maybe it was a sensory tub or maybe even like a Montessori school that donated these. There were probably 15 bags of these, y'all. You'll see how big this is. There's probably 200 of them in here. And I got them because they can be used for a variety of journals, but the 80s journals, these are very fluorescent, the clear plastic nature of them, and they're very tactile. So I thought maybe I could string a few and have them like jingle around. You can manipulate them back and forth just to make noise. I might share some of these in my shop, you know, packs of 20 or so, I'm not sure. But they're just so adorable. Just Montessori style plastic buttons and clear colors. Grabbed this. My daughter actually used the last piece of photo paper that I had this week, and you can't beat that for 75 sheets at all. I have no idea if this brand is good or not, but it was still sealed, so. And then last but not least, this was one of 4 scrapbook paper sleeves that someone had donated, and I grabbed the one that looked the most like colors I will use. Let's see. I'll probably just keep them in here because I don't have any more room in my hard case for 12 by 12 paper. But I think whoever donated these had these sort of by color, so. Oh look, I have the same kit. That's pretty. It's like a peachy pink. Some of them are 2-sided. Just a whole lot of little scrappy pieces. That's cute. Here's the browns. I don't use a lot of brown, but I also don't have a lot of brown. So it's kind of nice to have it when you need it. I don't really buy it much at full price. Like a taupey color. Oh, it's like a cork board. What are these little guys? Like little nursery sheep. Fufala. I have never heard of that brand. Baby stuff. Little birds. Birthday. This caught my eye when I saw it through. I kind of could see some of the things in the pack. I just love it. It's kind of eye-cat looking, but wouldn't that be fun with the vintage sewing pattern lady on top of it? Some of these are so early 2000s looking. That's fun. That's very Asian. Pink, double-sided, brown, more corkboard, peacock feathers. This one has glitter, neutral whites. Those are nice to have. And the good thing about these, when you get these packs like this, if there's something that's just really ugly and you would never use, you can use it as a base for a masterboard. That's cute. Tiny purple flowers. That's wrapping paper. Who knows? Maybe it was a junk journaler and not a scrapbooker. I guess we'll never know. Y'all have to let me know if y'all think this is worth $7.95. That's sweet. That's adorable. Ooh, very pretty. These are nice. I wonder what brand this is. Ooh, ballet. Really cute. All right, you guys, that was it. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope whatever you find in your next thrifting outing makes you smile. See you soon.